Okay, everybody. Kaden Peterson talking about recommendations and selling at school. Take it away, Kaden.
Sweet. All right, let's get into it. Recommendations. First things first, how is your rapport? Rapport, as we know, great for sales, but we also need to know that it's great for recommendations because they don't want to give their friends' phone numbers or family's phone numbers to someone they barely know. So making them feel cared about, making them feel special, and making them not feel like, hey, I'm just using you for sales or recommendations is really important. So making sure you're building good rapport and just asking a lot of questions and diving in with them a little bit before the demo gets going. Are you comfortable asking for recommendations? You have to be comfortable. This is like product conviction for recommendations. You can't be afraid of it. You can't be like, oh, will you please give me some recommendations? Maybe it has to be like, hey, this is how I make money. This is how I continue to grow and be comfortable with what my list is in Cutco. So it's a really important thing. Obviously, you'll say it more with the script. And then, how sincere is your recommendation approach? The number one thing I'd say with being sincere with your recommendation approach is memorizing it. I remember Nick told me this about a month into the job, and I was like, does it really make that big of a difference? And once I got to thinking about it, talking to someone like this and asking for recommendations while you're looking them in the eye or the webcam, technically, is just a lot more genuine than like reading, like, how was my demo? Great. Well, I can only show Cutco to people that just doesn't work. You can't just, it's not as good. It does work because it's part of our program and the manual works, obviously. But the recommendations thing is the one thing that you probably need to get memorized because it's a great thing. Actually, I'm not going to say probably, I'm going to say you have to memorize. Oh, this is exactly what I was talking about. Sincerity and authenticity. Just memorizing it is a great way to get more recommendations. And it's the top cornerstone of how to get better. Using the sponsorship program. Use this as a tool. Don't let the cat out of the bag too early. If they give you like 4 recommendations, there's no reason they can't find one more person in their contact list who's nice, especially if they're a qualified appointment, which everyone should be. Um, Pushing the sponsorship program, letting them know how much it helps you out, because unfortunately it doesn't really help them out, but just showing off some free Cutco you have maybe and saying, hey, it's going to help me earn some more pieces. Like I always show off my mini cheese knife, and I'm like, this is actually how I got my mini cheese knife, and I love this thing now. So made getting the 50 sponsors worth it. So highlighting that, letting them know how it helps you and how it's a great way to do that. Handling, I'm uncomfortable giving people's names out. This is one of my favorite objections to get, weirdly, right? So what I say as soon as I hear this is say, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Did I make you uncomfortable at all throughout the process today or when I first called you? And then they're always going to be like, oh, no, 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 no. Absolutely not. You did great. It was a great presentation. You were super kind to us. And then what you'd say to that is, great. I don't know what would make you think that I would treat your friends with any less respect or be any less kind to them, as well as if your friends tell me no on the phone, I'm not going to continue to bug them and I'm not going to continue to reach out. If they tell me no for a demo, I'm just going to be like, all right, and then move on, as well as just kind of talking with them and being comfortable getting those. And then what makes you uncomfortable about giving people's names out is another good way. I would definitely recommend the first way around the uncomfortable recommendations, though. I don't know anyone that would be interested. Obviously, that's great. I don't care. It's not your job to find these people that would want Cutco. It's my job to sell Cutco to them and just show them a great product and have a great time with them. That's why all I'm asking for is people that would be nice enough to give me a little bit of their time and let me show them a great product and tell them a little bit about how Cutco is helping me out. I don't want to give their number out without giving them a heads up, thumbs up. I don't know what that's about, but that's great because we have a text already available. And if they decline that text and you hear about it from the person who recommended them beforehand, obviously don't call those people because that would be super disrespectful. But yeah, just letting them know that, hey, we're actually going to shoot them a message here. I'll text that to you quick so you can review that and just make sure you're comfortable sending that out because a lot of people have found that it's really eased up the process of recommendations. Being assertive with people to make them sponsors. Don't be super soft spined or worried about like offending someone when getting recommendations. Obviously, if they are adamant and you can hear it in their tone, then don't continue to push because that would be pushy. But if someone's like, oh, I just don't know, that would when you would be starting to ask thought jogging questions, continuing to promote our sponsorship program, and handling the objections, being sincere and authentic. You need to be 100% sincere and authentic because they're going to be able to tell when you're not being, as well as just making sure they're comfortable and making it fun. Make it kind of into a game. If you can make it into a game, then people are going to be easily able to become sponsors. That's why I've started averaging 5 to 15 recommendations, just because I turn it into a game for them. They're like, oh, I can get you this person's number. I can get you this person's number. A few great thought jogging questions I'd like to add as well as like, who do you see always posting on Facebook? Who do you always see posting on Facebook about food? Whose house did you go to for a barbecue this summer? Do you have someone that's super nice that just immediately comes to mind? Stuff like that, because those are going to be great prospects, as well as letting them know kind of what we're going for in our target market. Explaining homeowners married and over 30 is going to be really easy to be like, okay, yeah, now I have a ton of people that come to mind because obviously we're showing HM30s, so they know HM30s. All right, this is more selling at school now, so that we're done with recommendations. But make a plan. You aren't going to be able to just wing it during the school year. You have to make a day to make your plan. For me, it's Sundays at 6 p.m. I am in front of my Google Sheet and I am putting in my AM schedule. I'm putting in my school. I'm putting in when I'm going to do homework. I'm putting in when I want to do demos. I also have a document for that, which I will put in the chat right after this. While building your schedule, just block out those things. Make your plan for when you're going to phone and when your demo times are going to be. Lastly, just make sure you have some time to recharge. Obviously, I know this job is tiring, even though we're just kind of talking with people. So make sure you have some time for yourself to recharge, but don't over prioritize that because I have fallen into that habit and it's not a good habit to fall into. Sticking to your plan. Don't let anything in your week surprise you. That's why you want to sit down and do your schedule for about 30 to 45 minutes. Might take you a little less time than that, but just making sure you're aware of everything that's going on. We're all getting a little bit deeper into the semester, so I think we can agree that it'd be a little bit easier to know when our classes are and just have those put in. Be conscious of everything that's set in stone in your schedule and just be aware of how much time homework and studying realistically is going to take you guys. Phone when you're going to stay your phone, no excuses. A saying I always live by is the day you don't want to, the day is the day you have to. And that's been really helpful for honestly just personal life and for phoning with Cutco because believe it or not, guys, after 13 months working here, I still don't love getting on the phones. It's still something I kind of dread. But I know that when I do it, I'm going to get results. I know that I'm going to grow and I know that it's good for me to get on the phones and continue to break those barriers because I'm getting more comfortable with it every time. If you guys don't fill a demo slot you've planned on filling, don't rock. Make phone calls or do homework or be productive somehow. Just making sure you're being productive during a time where you were already planning on productive is going to be great. But also, if you need some time to recharge, that's fine as well because that can be productive as well. Homework, try to do homework during the day. Those times we often can't fill during the week just because HM30s are at work. Like at 10 a.m., 1:30, 3 p.m., even in the morning, like right after Champs Club is a great time to knock it out if you don't have class. If you can't do it due to an abundance of classes or conflicting plans, do it at night after or between demos. Obviously, we all know that our presentations don't necessarily take an hour and a half per piece. So you can definitely knock out a few paragraphs on a paper, discussion post, quiz, something like that in between demos. And doing it after demos is not ideal, but we can all get through it. So it takes a little bit of drive during the demo. Talk with people about school and how things are going during rapport. They want to hear about how you're doing just as much as you want to hear about how they're doing and how things are going in their life. It's important that they know you as well as you know them during rapport. Get them involved in the little things in your day or week, whether it's just talking about a quiz, talking about what you guys had for lunch today in the caf or stuff like that. Also, just add into your goal sharing when you talk about earning a scholarship for school. A lot of people really want to support getting college student school paid for, especially with the national student debt crisis. So, emphasizing that and then being really heartfelt with the way you're trying to get paid for school, because obviously, if you're in school, you know how important it is to do that. This also, some of these things apply to if you have another job on top of Cutco as well. If you meet someone who's alumni from your school, talk to them about it, whether it's buildings, whether it's professors, whether it's things that are traditions on your school campus. Just talk with them about that stuff because they're going to be fired up to talk about it. They loved their college experience wherever they went for the most part. And they want to tell you about their experience at the school they went to, and they will go on tangents. That's the number one thing we want people to do during rapport is go on tangents and start talking our ear off because that's when we can really listen and get to know people on a little bit deeper level. Take care of yourself, get 8 hours of sleep, don't skip meals, and For me, workout to any degree constantly, but also for you guys, I think that it's great because as a serotonin release, and it's really going to help increase your mood regardless. Doing something is better than doing nothing. Even if it's just a small workout, you only got time to go to the gym and maybe do 15 minutes on the treadmill or something like that. Just doing anything to that extent is really going to help you guys heighten your mood, and you're going to feel better about yourself and just how you're going to go throughout your day. Figure out what works for you. My schedule is not going to be the same as any of yours, but that doesn't mean we can't achieve the same success and hit the same goals this semester. It all starts with just laying out your schedule and making a plan and sticking to it. Modify the plan as the weeks go by and just keep getting a little closer to your perfect schedule week by week. You're never going to get there, but if you just continue to layer on and layer on and layer on and get more productive and you keep experiencing growth week to week, it's going to be really awesome to kind of see the way your schedule grows and the way you grow. What do I want you guys to get from this? I want you guys to get a boatload of recommendations. I don't want anyone in the AC office to be struggling with getting recommendations and maintaining a good names list. Craft your schedule at the start of the week. I know it can be tedious. I know some of us are mental schedule people. I used to be too. But just make sure that it's all put on a spreadsheet because just being able to see it means you're not going to mix up things in your head. Stick to your schedule you made. That just comes down to discipline and staying driven. And if you're ever lacking motivation, give your manager a call and they'll give you a little pump up speech. So we're always going to try to make you guys feel good. Keep up on your schoolwork, keep the phones hot all semester, and take care of yourself, guys. Like Nick always says, we feel the highs and lows of this job a little bit more than most jobs, especially like mindless work, like at a retail store or in a factory or even a fast food job. So just make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're your best self so you can present yourself well to the customer and really show that you're a happy student, you're happy working here, and you have good vibes. And I think that's pretty much it. So if anyone's got any questions or anything like that, go ahead and give me a shout or just unmute.